A story that's fallen under the radar with the midterm election counts, news of the special counsel beginning, etc., was that Rudy Giuliani will not face criminal charges in connection with a long-running investigation. He was investigated for encouraging Ukraine to dig up dirt on the Biden family, and specifically Hunter Biden, without registering as a foreign agent. This is all leading up to the 2020 presidential election. After close to a 3-year probe, it's been announced that Giuliani will not be charged for violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act for his alleged attempts to oust, or for the alleged attempts to oust the then American ambassador to Ukraine. Bob Costello, Giuliani's attorney, telling ABC News, "We're very pleased that they did this. I'm not surprised that they did this because I saw the evidence or lack thereof and knew Rudy Giuliani didn't do anything wrong." Giuliani put his own spin on the news, tweeting, "There was never any charges. There was never a crime. It was all theater." Now, after the FBI raided Giuliani's New York City home and office in April of last year, seizing his phones and computers, his son Andrew lashed out against the Justice Department.
Anybody, any American, whether you're red or blue, should be extremely disturbed by what happened here today, by the continued politicization of the Justice Department. This is disgusting. This is absolutely absurd, and it's the continued politicization of the Justice Department that we have seen. And it has to stop. If this can happen to the former president's lawyer, this can happen to any American. Enough is enough.
Yeah, and many on social media on the right echoed that sentiment. Many on the left criticized the decision not to prosecute. Well, I don't really agree with either side. I'm glad that federal prosecutors did not believe there was enough to prosecute. I don't wish Giuliani or anyone else to be prosecuted for something prosecutors don't feel they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt, but particularly someone as prominent as the former New York City mayor. But for all the whining and complaining about the system from Giuliani and his son and his ally, it's unfair, it's political, it's a witch hunt, it's corrupt, the DOJ evaluated the evidence and decided not to pursue charges, as happens. And for those who say, well, why was there even an investigation to begin with? It was clearly political. Well, because there was evidence. And I would point you to Greg Craig, lifelong Democrat, former White House counsel under President Barack Obama. Following his time in the White House while in private practice, Craig was the lead attorney for his firm's work for the former president of Ukraine. Craig was also investigated by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, the very same department that investigated Giuliani, and for the same possible crime, failure to report his work for a foreign government under the same act. Again, same exact crime Giuliani was investigated for, only the case against Greg Craig went further. After his case was passed to federal prosecutors, Craig was eventually indicted for making a false statement to investigators about his role in work that his law firm did for the Ukrainian government. And in September 2019, the career Democrat was acquitted. Not about politics, about enforcing possible FARA violations is tough. Tom Barrack, longtime ally of Donald Trump, was indicted last year in New York, accused of acting as an unregistered foreign agent. Dealing with the United Arab Emirates, he was acquitted on all FARA violation charges as well. Barrack had a bit more of a gracious response to his news. Said these 12 people, normal people with such complex, unbelievable facts in front of them, somehow fight through all of the quagmires to find Lady Justice with a torch burning and a judge who protects them. God bless America. The system works. I tend to agree with Tom Barrack. Look, maybe Barrack and Craig never should have been prosecuted and charged. But Giuliani wasn't. They didn't make up the facts around what happened. What Giuliani did was slimy, but it may not have been criminal. And that was sorted out through an investigation that we should appreciate, rather than just condemn depending on your political affiliation. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.